Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Fight Council meeting for Fight Underground. We are back once again with our weekly meeting. Right off the bat, what I want to get to is you saw the video drops over the last couple of days. We have two new Fight Council members. That is Mad Mike and Crusher Hansen. They have both joined the Fight Council, and in the upcoming weeks, we're going to be hearing from both of those men. So before we get started, there's one thing I do want to address, and that was last week's meeting got a little bit out of hand, a little too salty as far as I was concerned. So as the fight director, there's going to be a few changes to our format here. First and foremost, personal agendas are off the table. We are here for one thing and one thing only, and that is to build Fight Underground. I don't care if we like each other. I don't care if we're having beers afterwards. We do business in this meeting in front of all you people. So that is the way it's going to be. And the other part of that I've got to address, obviously, Brandon Kay walked out of our meeting last week. Now, I haven't heard from Kay actually up until about an hour ago. And Brandon said he will be addressing his future with the Fight Council later this week. So keep an eye out for that. So one thing that's going to go down with our new format also is, as we progress and as we add more council members, we're going to have a rotation of council members. You're not going to always see the same council members each and every week. You're not going to continue to add council members. We're going to keep it small. We're going to keep it to a minimum. We're going to get everybody's input, but we're going to do it in small groups. Now, with that being said, I want to welcome back Stacy. Stacy, I would like for you to address our women's division tonight. Like we stated last week, we don't just want to call it a women's division. That's more than what Fight Underground. That's not what Fight Underground is about. We're not about just a simple women's division. We have warriors. We have women who fight hard. They fight just as hard as the men. So, Stace, can you please fill us in on what we've decided to call our women's division?
Well, after talking with the women in the division, we have decided to call it the Virago division. The meaning of the word is Latin, and it exemplifies what a woman should be: a heroine, someone who is a female warrior. That is exactly what we want with the women of Fight Underground. Warrior. So we talked about it, and that is what we decided on. And Dylan, again with the strawberries.
Can I say something?
No.
Anyway.
First of all, thank you once again for being here, all of you tonight. But I'd like to start off by saying I'd like to thank Agnes and Gertie's Strawberry Store and Fine Creamery.
Here we go.
They sent me from Napoli, Italy. They sent me a first class strawberries and cream. That's Agnes and Gertie's. For those of you that want to order, Agnes and Gertie's. And I got to tell you, they're delicious. So thank you.
So Dylan Dean's got himself a sponsor. Great. Fabulous. Anyway. So, as Stacy said, that is what our women's division is going to be all about. These women are warriors. These women are fighters. They are unlike any women we've ever seen before. That is why we are picking these women to be in Fight Underground. That's why they are being considered to be in Fight Underground, because we are going to do things like nobody else has ever done them before. That's what Fight Underground is and always will be about. So, women's division. I'm glad to hear that. I'm so glad to hear that. We finally come on to that. Now, one other thing. Now, what we're going to do here is I'm going to talk about, and I'm going to let each and every one of our council members here tonight. And we have tonight with us Boomer Payne once again. We have with us Bubba Brewer, JB Destiny, Justin Idle, Dylan Dean, and Stacy Hunter. And those are our council members who we have on air tonight. So what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about our current roster, the gentlemen who have both, and ladies, I'm sorry, I don't mean to leave them out, who have come in and have either we've accepted as part of Fight Underground, or we are currently looking into them as part of Fight Underground. And my question to each and every one of you council members is this. If you were building your own promotion, if you were starting from ground zero, which is basically what we're doing here at Fight Underground, who would be your cornerstone? Who would be your contender to be the cornerstone of your promotion? And I want to start off with Boomer Payne. Who would be your cornerstone?
Wow, what a tough question. I will say this, Paul. If you're going to start a promotion in any era in professional wrestling, the number one draft pick that you pick has to be able to lead your company. I will say this: I have to make a pick, I am going with none other than Troy Lords. The kid is special. The kid reminds me. I'm gonna give him the greatest compliment that I could possibly give an indie worker in Fight Underground. The kid is Bobby Eaton-esque. You can put him in there with anybody, and he can have a great match. This is a kid that you can build an entire promotion around. Troy Lord, my pick.
That's fantastic. Those are some great words. Comparing him to the great Bobby Eaton, man, that's that. And I'll tell you what, as I've stated before, I have competed against Troy Lords, and I have tag teamed with Troy Lords, and man, I got to say, those accolades you gave him were well deserved. He would be a well addition to any promotion, and yeah, he could very well be a cornerstone. Bubba Brewer, let's swing to you now.
Well, thanks, Paul. And I've been thinking very hard on this. And if I was going to start a company or somebody I needed to carry the load at all times, in and out of the ring, I'm going to go with somebody I've talked about before. And I'll always talk about if I had to run a company, and I'm going to go with big-time Bill Collier. Bill has done it all, and he has attracted a great following on the East Coast of the United States now. And he is a star among stars in my opinion. And that's what, if I'm going to run something, he's going to be my first choice ever if I had to do something. Don't choke on your strawberries, Dylan.
Okay, big time Bill Collier, another great competitor. This man was looked at by some of the bigger promotions, some of the bigger, not only just indies, but he's been looked at by WWE as well. Hey, he would make an excellent cornerstone. Obviously, and all these competitors have what it takes, but obviously one is going to be head and shoulders above the rest. So I'm going to bring JB Destiny in now. JB, if you had your choice, what do you think a cornerstone would be?
Thank you. I think that Bubba has a great candidate. I really do. But like women's side, I would think either Ronnie or Scarlett, but I'm going to go with somebody kind of like off the books. We need a heavyweight men's champion, guy that people want to see, that people are waiting to sit until the end of the night. So, yeah, the Collier guy is good. Otherwise, I'll go with the dark horse, the guy that Boomer is bringing up from North Carolina. I like him too. A lot. I always like kind of smaller guys taking on bigger guys. So he's my guy. All right. I'm sorry to give you 3 different answers, Paul. we'll let the other people decide.
All right. Well, JB's kind of at a crossroads. I take it is what is where he's at. All his personalities are chiming in at once. So, Justin Idle, let's talk about your cornerstone.
Let's see. I'm going to actually go a different route here. We're talking about guys that are, coming up. I'm going to go with another big guy, and this is not to draw any heat from you, Dylan, but I'm going to go with the Beast Man. Something to watching him become who he is today is just incredible. A complete transformation from who he was to who he is now. And I think that I would actually take that chance, take that risk, because isn't that what Fight Underground really is? We're taking chances, we're doing different things. So he's my guy. Give him the ball and let him run with it.
Exactly. And, I would be remiss if I didn't add to that, in our former life, he was our heavyweight champion. So, yeah, without a doubt, he's a proven champion. There's no two ways about that. All right, rolling right along. Stacy, let's get your thoughts on what cornerstone you would pick if you had to pick a cornerstone for Fight Underground.
If I had to pick a cornerstone, obviously I'm going to go with one of the girls, and I'm going with Big Bang Ronnie Nicole. I think she's tough. I think she would take on any of the men and probably beat any of the men. So that's why I choose her.
All right, the Big Bang Ronnie Nicole. That's Stacy Hunter's pick. And now, hey, the Strawberry Man himself, Dylan Dean. What you got to say, brother?
I'd like to thank Agnes and Gertie's Strawberry Store.
Yeah, we
and Fine
already
Creamery.
thanked your sponsor, brother. We already thanked your sponsor. Let's keep on task here and swallow the strawberry and move on.
Who I'd take? I'll take the Samoan Storm off of Junior.
And wow, that really surprises me.
Because that, my friend, is a franchise player. That, my friend, right there is a franchise player.
I knew that was coming.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's not really a big surprise. Hey, he's Dylan's golden boy. I mean, I can't put it any other way. And again, once we saw that drop last week, I had to give you props, Dylan. You're thinking big time. You're thinking big time. That's the way it is. So,
Paul, I want to know who you'd pick, Paul. Who would you pick, Paul?
Who would I pick if I needed a cornerstone for Fight Underground? Well, I'll tell you what. This is going to shock a lot of you guys, I would think, because you probably think I'm going to pick one of the men. But you know what? I've got to go with Stacy Hunter on this one, the Big Bang Ronnie Nicole. I have watched this young lady. She is a bruiser. She is a brawler. She has been all over the world. She has trained in the dojos of Japan. She has been to Mexico. She has been everywhere. So,
players, right? We're talking franchise players.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing. I wanted to make sure we're on the same page.
We are. There's no two ways about that. And I got to go with Ronnie. I mean, she's a big time player, man. She's walked the walk.
All of our choices are great choices. Our roster is, a really great roster. But if you notice something, every single member of our roster is pretty much within 150 miles or so. And I think you can all agree. I think we need to get more fighters from the West Coast, from all across the country, to make Fight Underground truly something just incredible.
Well, without a doubt. And I'll tell you what, come September, with things starting to open back up here, come September, the Cauliflower Alley Club is going to be back out in Las Vegas, Nevada. And I will be at the Cauliflower Alley. And I am fully intending on going out there with one purpose in mind, and that is to scout the West Coast talent. Because, yes, you're right, Justin. We need to bring talent in from all over the country, dare I say, all over the world. Dylan's still chewing over there.
What's that?
So you're still chewing on them strawberries? I thought maybe you'd have something to say about bringing in outside talent from not just the immediate area.
Yeah, I think that you should absolutely bring in outside talent. Outside talent and mixed with talent. I've been around Pittsburgh a long time, 20 years. A lot of friends in Pittsburgh. I made a lot of enemies, and I made a lot of mistakes in Pittsburgh. I will say ever.
What did you name them?
No comment.
However, with that being said, I agree with for the first time, Paul. I'm going to agree.
Wow.
Why would you show Bubba when I'm talking? For the first time, I will agree with you, Paul Atlas. I agree. I think you should bring in outside talent. It's ingenious to bring in outside talent. This is the place people want to be. That's what I have to say. I'd also like to thank Agnes and Gertie's Strawberry Store.
Yes. As we know, Dylan Dean is sponsored once again by the Strawberry Company. And we're going to just blow right over that. So, and that again, that is my intentions here. Talent from all over the country, talent from all over the world. You're right. This is the place to be. Let's put it this way. There are more people talking about Fight Underground, and we have yet to wrestle a single match. But yet Fight Underground is on everybody's tongue right now.
I'm getting hate mail. I don't know why I'm getting hate mail.
You always get hate mail.
I know why.
Yeah. I can't imagine why.
I didn't get any mail. All I do is speak the truth. I speak the truth, just like Agnes and Gertie's Strawberry Store.
Yes, the Strawberry Company. We know. Dylan Dean with his sponsor of the week, Agnes and Jerry's, or Ben and Jerry's.
They're going to start getting hate mail.
I know. They're associated with Dylan Dean. What the hell?
And once we get better and we get more, we're going to have people coming from all over. Just they want to come in anyway. Sure. They're going to come to us, Paul. So
I am getting messages. I am getting messages daily. My inbox is jammed with messages of people who want to go underground right now. It's amazing what's going on. And the names that we've touched on tonight don't even scratch the surface. We still haven't talked about people like Shirley Doe. We haven't talked about people like our council members, Mad Mike and Crusher Hansen. You know, we have yet to talk about a lot of these young ladies. Some of the young ladies, Shauna Reed, Charlie Krull. You know, we touched on Scarlett, Tatiana Rose. I mean,
that's my sleeper. She's my sleeper.
That's your sleeper. That's good.
That's my sleeper in the ladies division.
I watched that young lady wrestle her first match, and I'll tell you what, she had a lot of courage, and hey, she's a hell of a competitor. I'm not going to deny that, you know. And there's a ton of untapped potential in the women's division as well. We haven't even touched on our tag teams. People like Warhorse, OSHA Inc. You know, some of these young guys that you know we're still kind of jostling around with. What do we want to do? Do we want to bring them in? AJ Alexander, Loss Prevention. You know, I mean, let's talk about it. Just for 1 second. You got a guy like Loss Prevention who started off on the wrong side of the tracks. I mean, let's face it. What he was involved with that was an abomination. You know, and I mean, shoot, straight up. I mean, I wanted to.
That's a big word for you.
I know. I had to look it up.
Hey,
I wanted to take a bridge.
Warhorse is going to be good.
Dare I say this? Warhorse reminds me of a certain tag team that I used to be involved with. So how is that for an endorsement?
Yeah.
I'd like to Scarlett for a minute. Scarlett is my dark horse. Scarlett is my dark horse. Now there's a girl.
Wait, in the women's division or the whole roster?
Whole roster. Now there's a girl that is eerie, right? She's just eerie. She's creepy. She's gross.
Well trained.
Whoa.
I wouldn't go gross, but
Yeah, whoa. Calm down, Dean.
I mean,
you take that the wrong way. I mean, like she'll get in there and she'll gnaw your face off. That's what I like.
Maybe you thought you didn't shower.
Well, you needed to present it that way. You needed to present it that way, Dylan.
Well, that's equally just as gross. That's equally weird. That's it. I don't.
Really, as opposed to a video about me by some idiot on the throwing stuff on walls, really? And that wasn't
true.
good.
That's true. That's true. True.
Okay.
That was funny.
I digress.
Okay. The guy has to express himself somehow. He's a beast.
I'm giving Scarlett props. I personally think that she's going to run through that entire women's division. I really do. I don't know about no Ronnie this and Ronnie that, but I think personally Scarlett will honestly beat the hell out of every woman in that division. I don't know any girl in that division that can stop her. Not one. Not one girl in that division can stop her. Matter of fact, I'm a Scarlett fan. So Scarlett, if you're out there and you're watching, I got you some strawberries and cream from Agnes and Gertie's Strawberry Store.
We got the sponsor of
Fine
Dylan
Creamery.
Dean, I'll tell you. How much are they paying you to say this?
At least she has that going for her.
Well,
The best friend, Scarlett is the best friend.
With that being said, I do have something else I'd like to present because we are talking about the franchise people, and I know that there's somebody that's really, really angry. So I'm gonna go ahead and let that up to the video.
Okay, well, let's see what you got.
I'm sick and tired of this. I'm getting sick and tired of this. I've been caged in my house like a goddamn animal for too long. And F you! Fight underground! The king of the jungle is coming! Dylan! Warm up the car.
Wow. Well, the Samoan Storm is, I'd say he's fired up to get the fight underground.
He's got some
There's no two
intensity,
ways
I'll
about
say that.
Yeah, I cannot deny. And let's face it, the lineage there. My God, his dad Afa, his uncle Sika, Samu, his brother. I mean, all this Yokozuna, all the Samoan dynasty, man. I mean, Dylan, I'm not selling you short, brother. Trust me, I'm not selling you short. Sometimes you're a little agitating with your strawberries and your endorsements.
We don't have to agree, but you have to admit, I know talent. Let's admit it.
I'm not going to deny that. I am not going to deny that.
Down the room and ask that. What do you think, Justin? Do I know talent?
Oh, you know talent. I'll give you that. You know talent. Yeah.
Ago, you were on top of your game, man. 20 years ago, you'd have been a top talent. Now, not so much. Bubba, what do you?
I knew you were coming to me. Yeah, you pull out all the punches, Dylan. You know some people and great workers. You got me beat as of right now, and you talk the walk and walk the talk. But
again, it's right. This is about bringing in the best talent. We want to see.
I agree with you.
We want to see some fights.
I don't like how you present yourself sometimes, but you do bring what you say, and
I didn't ask you that question, goofball.
Well,
I
I'm
asked you
telling
about
you.
talent.
I understand that, and I said that you can bring in some great talent, but I don't like sometimes how you do it. But you bring in great talent.
Enough.
Thanks.
Boomer.
Thanks for cutting me off.
Boomer, what do you think? Do I know talent or what?
Well,
Come on,
yeah,
tell me while I eat.
You manage me, but
we forgave him for that.
Yeah, I know. But Dylan, I don't know if you were watching the chat that's going on right now, but someone is desperately trying to get a hold of you.
Listen, you're done. Stacy.
I've seen that too.
Stacy, what do you think about? What do you think about talent? What do you think about talent? Do I know talent?
Obviously, I mean, look at what you've already brought in to fight underground.
Thank you. So, but are we not all on the same page? Do we not all want great talent? So every one of your choices here tonight, every one of these council member choices have been excellent choices. They are all professionals and they're all terrific wrestlers. And I think this federation and this company is going to go so global that this is just going to be the place to be. And you know why? You know why I think that? Because I got a good word from Agnes and Gertie's Strawberry Store and Fine
Strawberry Company was coming. You knew the strawberries were coming. But yeah, Dylan is absolutely correct. I mean, all these guys and gals, that's why they're being considered in Fight Underground, because they are the tops in their field. They're the top professionals. They're the top tag teams, the top singles, the top women's. And we are going to be doing it all here in Fight Underground. I mean, come on now. That's what it's all about. Like I stated before, we have more buzz going about Fight Underground than any other promotion in the area. And we have not even put on a single match yet. I mean, come on, guys.
And that's a real situation, and that's a sad situation, what's going on right now in the state of Pennsylvania. So
it is. And you know what? I want to briefly touch on that. And Dylan, I know you are a little closer to the situation than most of us are. The esteemed governor of Pennsylvania, if you want to call him that, has put out some edicts as far as professional sports. And what in the world is this going to do for not just Pittsburgh professional wrestling, but professional wrestling on the indie level throughout the state? Dylan, you got to touch on this, man.
I will touch on it. I'm going to take a serious moment here, and it's nobody's fault. I don't care if you're what political party you are. I don't care what you believe in. It's nobody's fault that this happened. It is what it is. We're all living through a situation right now that nobody ever expected would happen. Let's face it. But with that being said, there's guidelines that were put out today for counties that go in green. And those simply state that any professional sporting event can have their events, but they can't have any fans. And if you do have fans, you need to have a COVID-19 preparedness plan. And all of this combined together is a recipe for disaster on the indies. I mean, if I show up at a building, you're talking tens and hundreds of thousands of people. If Boomer shows up at a building, you're talking maybe 15 people. So there's a big difference there, and you can see that that's why they're doing this. They're trying to control the crowds. And with that being said, I don't believe at this point you're going to see any live wrestling in Pennsylvania for many months to come. But in the same token, they are allowing gatherings of 250 people. But if you are a professional athlete and you are a paid wrestler or you are a paid baseball player, your organization must abide by the rules that are set forth by the state. And whether we like it or whether we don't, this is the way it is. So to everybody out there, I'd start tuning in because you're going to start seeing a lot of things. And for those people having their little matches in buildings that with nobody around, no more. It's not legal. And the one thing I will say about everybody that's on here is everybody wants to follow the rules in those aspects, not just for the safety of us, but for the safety of fans, no matter how many there are. Paul, all of you guys know that we've been in buildings with 10 people and we've been in buildings with thousands of people. And it's just as much, and we do just as much for the 10 people as we do for the hundreds of people that show up. And nobody wants to see anybody suffer and go through it. It is a serious situation, and it's nothing to be taken lightly. So unfortunately, this is the state of what came out today, and now we're going to have to deal with it and go from there. But I do believe that a lot of organizations, no matter who they are going to find ways to do their thing, and that's great. But for Fight Underground, I'd start paying attention because I think things are going to get real interesting here real fast. That's my opinion. That's the law. That's the take. This is what we got to abide by.
And like you said, unfortunately, this is really, nobody in particular's fault. I mean, whoever would have seen this coming, in a million years that we would ever be in a situation like we're in right now. And Dylan, I know, you and I talked a little bit before we went on the air about some of the specifics of these rules and these regulations. And I got to say, man, indie wrestling in the state of Pennsylvania is in trouble right now. It really is.
Want me to read it? People out there that are listening.
Yeah. Give a little synopsis.
I'll just give you a little synopsis. Professional sports. So professional sports in the state of Pennsylvania, is defined as any sporting event of which the participants are paid by the league or team, or at which individuals or teams receive prizes or purse. They are allowed to practice or play in the yellow and green phases of reopening without an on-site venue specter. So there could be no fans. If the team, and that's only if the team league on behalf of the team has developed a COVID-19 safety plan. And that plan has to not only, we just can't come up with it and say, wash your hands twice, sing happy birthday, and sing kumbaya, and you're all clean that way. But we have to.
What kind of plan is it going to cost anything for this plan, Dylan?
Yeah, you have to. This is what I'm telling you. So the plan, it must be approved by the Pennsylvania Department of Health and include, among other requirements, testing or screening and monitoring of all on-venue players and personnel. Also, even if you have that, no fans or spectators may be permitted in the building or outside of the building. And that's just the way it is. So, yeah, you have to get a professional COVID team to come in and give you a plan. Me and you, Bubba, can't come up with it. You know what I mean? Hey, listen,
okay.
Take everything else aside. I love you to death, and I'd still hug you to this day with or without a mask. Most of you people should be wearing masks, by the way, just because of how you look. But take that away from it, I'd still give you a hug, but you can't do it anymore. You can't do it. So I'm going to give you an air pound and wish you the best. But you don't want to get sick. I don't want to get sick. We don't want to get the fans sick. It is what it is. And unfortunately, this is the situation we're in. So you got to deal with it. And you either watch your TV shows, or you turn on and you watch some good independent wrestling all over the place, especially here in Fight Underground. What can I say? It's a sad situation for us all. And nobody on here, you can break all kind of rules in this and say whatever you want, but nobody here wants to be responsible to either get it or give somebody a sickness that you'll never forget for the rest of your life. And unfortunately, we're in that situation right now. And I'll tell you, it is not Agnes and Gertie's Strawberry Stand's fault by any means.
I wouldn't expect it to be. So yeah, I mean, this is a bombshell and a half as far as I'm concerned. And you know, they're taking the revenue away because you can't have the fans. Without the fans, the money's not there. But you have to have the money to generate this plan, if I'm understanding you right.
Say it again, sorry?
The revenue is not going to be there because you can't obviously charge people to watch, but you have to have the money to come up with this plan.
I mean, you have to have it professional. We can't come up with it. And if you do, it's going to get shot down. I mean, unless be the closest to you. What do you think? Do you think can you come up with a plan that you think is going to be foolproof? And even if you do, you're not getting the fans in the building. You're coming in, and you got to test every wrestler that walks in. You have the equipment to do all that. It's a bad situation because you don't want to disagree, because you don't want to get sick and you don't want to get somebody sick. But in the same token, what is life going to be like? Where do you go from here? Like I said, what do you do? I'm dying to drive 4 hours out there to come and see all you idiots. Believe it or not, I am. And I want to be in the arena, and I want to see live action, and I want to get back to business. But you just don't know if it's going to be possible anytime soon, and it's a scary thing. So I always was brought up, I'll use a driving as an example. On red, you stop. On yellow, you caution. And on green, you hit the gas. We're just not hitting the gas.
Yeah.
You're right, but you're not hitting the gas. And could this be the demise of independent wrestling? Could this be it for all of independent wrestling? Because what happens months from now? Do you think people are going to, they'll remember me, but do you think people are going to remember what's going on 8 months from now? So right now, this is it. This is your life. This is how it is. 1999, none of us were sitting on a computer talking to each other over an internet. And this is how it is. So this is what we're going to have to get used to. And unfortunately, that's just the way it is. Everything's slow. Your shipping is slow. It literally took a week and a half for Agnes and Gertie's Strawberry Store and Fine Creamery to send me my stuff. Just saying.
Now, let me ask the question to you guys. Let me ask you a question to you guys, since we do have a council member, Rick Diamond. He did offer something in West Virginia, correct? So that is an option? That is an option for us.
That sounds like it is an option because, again, we're talking about the rules of the state of Pennsylvania here. As we know, in this situation, every state is different. Every state has their own rules.
There's other states that are open, green, and it's back to business.
Awesome opportunity. And I know Boomer's down there in North Carolina, and I'm sure we can go to North Carolina. You can go to different states. No doubt about it. And I don't know what their guidelines are. Those guys would have to figure out those guidelines. But is that fair to the fans of Pennsylvania, no matter what side of Pennsylvania you're on? East, south, northwest, wherever. Is that fair to those people? It's really not. And that's the sad part, because people in Pennsylvania should be able to see it. You're going to still have to watch it on TV. For us, yeah, great. We can go down and we can go in, and it's an awesome opportunity. It's an awesome offer. And we're probably going to take them up on it. But again, how does that fare out for the fans of Pittsburgh who want to see the people that they've been seeing and the people that they've been watching? It just doesn't pan out, and it's a very unfortunate situation. And there's certain things that I love to take control of if you can't tell, and this one is just like there's just nothing you can do. There's literally nothing you can do. You have to sit back, and it sucks for all of us involved here and everybody watching. It sucks.
I mean, like you said, who'd have thought back in 1999 when we were selling buildings out, all of us together, that 20 some years we'd all be sitting here in our own homes with a little screen in front of us talking to people all over the country, basically, because let's face it, we're on Facebook Live here right now. It's, this is a national.
You have a great video team behind us. We have an awesome production company here. You have an awesome company, and
without a doubt,
they're doing a fantastic job. And if it wasn't for them, you know where you'd be right now? Sitting on your chair watching Netflix. You know what I mean? Because there'd be nothing for you to do. It's just the way it goes.
Well, I'd be in bed already.
No, I thought I was boomer, but that could be the truth. You could have been in bed, but I'm being dead serious. None of us would be doing anything right now besides, it is what it is, and everybody's here for the love of this business. Let's face it, all of us sitting on here are here for the love of the business. No matter what, whether you like me, whether you hate me, whether you listen to me or whether you don't, we're all here for the good of the cause, and we're all here for Fight Underground, and we're here for the fans. I told you, I've been getting hate mail. I don't know why I get hate mail from Pittsburgh. I loved Pittsburgh.
That's because I gave everybody your address.
Loved Pittsburgh 25 years ago. A little too much. I loved it. I had such a blast out there. It's unbelievable. I can't remember half of them, but I had a blast out there. People want to see wrestling, and people in Pittsburgh are passionate about their wrestling. And it's very unfortunate that right now there's nothing that can be done to bring that other than go to a different state. And again, by no means am I saying it's awesome and it's great that you have brothers in this business that are saying, come on down. You can run down here. But it's also unfair to the West Virginia fans who say, okay, we've been down there and then we may never come back, or to North Carolina and you may never come back. So it's just a horrible situation all around the board.
And you're right. It's an ever-changing situation. Who knows if 6 months from now Pennsylvania will still be in this spot? We don't know that. But what we're going to try to do is Fight Underground. Is we're going to try to keep our fans and our loyal listeners and watchers engaged in Fight Underground any way we can. And if we have to provide content through our services, our streaming services, from somewhere else, we're going to do that so that everyone can still see Fight Underground. You may not be able to be live and in the arena with us, but we will be putting out content as the plans are in the works. We've been all getting together and figuring this out and working out the logistics, and you will be seeing Fight Underground without a doubt sooner rather than later.
And Paul, like you said, that's a beautiful thing. You can go live anytime you want. So
here's the thing, Paul. I'm going to touch on it. As of right now, we are set with a date of June 20th, and we're already working on bringing Fight Underground to North Carolina June 20th. It's not 100% guaranteed. We are still at the mercy of the governor. But as of right now, if I'm a betting man, 75% of me says this is going to go through, and we will be live June 20th.
One of the problems with that is that you also have to make sure that when you leave the state that you come back and you're not on a 14-day quarantine. I don't know that. Mm-hmm. We don't know those rules yet. So yes, it'll be great. And we'll all be going to North Carolina and stuck there for 14 days. And you'll all be coming back and stuck here for 14 days. I don't know those parameters. It's so ever changing. So yeah, it all sounds great on paper, but you got to see the reality of it before you can say that.
Yeah, and that's like I said, we're trying to work out the logistics as we speak. And I'm going to tell you right now, everybody who's listening to this broadcast, Fight Underground is the hardest working promotion out there right now. And we are doing everything we can to work around this situation as best we can. And as Boomer just said, yes, we are at the mercy of government when it comes to this. I mean, if it was up to us, we'd be running already. We would have had a dozen shows or more under our belt at this point in time. But unfortunately, we just can't do that. But please please, to all of our fans out there, know that Fight Underground is working to bring you content, and not just, all us old timers sitting around in our homes talking over the internet. We're looking to bring you fights like everybody wants to see.
Other than my home base of WXW and WXWC4, I've never seen a promotion that works as hard. I mean, it just during the day, and the phone calls that go back and forth, and the text messages that go back and forth, and just this is a very hard-working company, and I do give you guys all credit for that. I as much as I don't want to, I have to, because you all are very hardworking for it. So again, and correct me if I'm wrong, anybody on this council, if we're all here for the same goals and for the same reasons, and that's what I brought out, and that's all I tried to do to Brandon K last week. We're here for the same goals. All of you, get your head in the game. Get your head in the game. That's all I ask.
And that's exactly what we're doing here again. So, we are doing everything we can to do that. And that's what it is. That's why I said at the beginning of this broadcast, we are going to adjust the way these meetings are held, because we want business and business only going on here. That's what we're all about.
That we want to make this product the best product that we possibly can make it. And I think we can. And I've been in some teams before, Paul, but this is like, I'm going to agree with Dylan again. This is the best team I've ever been with, because everybody is venturing out on limbs and giving opportunities. Like, we got our doors shut with the governor today, but doors have opened up today, and hopefully soon it'll open up in the state of Pennsylvania.
Hey, can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
Bubba, a quick question.
Yes. What's your question?
I always look in the background and I see that there. Can you play a little Whitney Houston? I kind of like her.
That's
Could
not
ya?
me. I'm not a big Whitney Houston fan, Dylan. But I do see some stuff. Hey, I do see some stuff on this board. You got somebody that just,
I want to know about all the music and stuff in the background. I like it. Play a little Whitney Houston.
Those are Blu-rays. Those are Blu-rays, like I told Justin last week. Blu-rays.
These ratings are awesome.
Yes, thanks, JB.
All right, my bad. Sorry.
That's okay.
You avoided my question, but it's okay. It's okay. It's a great team, and that's all I got to say.
Agreed.
That's why this.
I didn't get to say it in the beginning. I do want to welcome Mad Mike. I want to welcome both new council members. It's a crusher. It's awesome. I haven't seen these guys in a long time. It's awesome that they're here. I can't wait to insult them as I did 25 years ago, but I'm glad they're with us.
With Dylan.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Great guys.
Yes.
I didn't say that.
You may get your chance. You may get your chance, because I have it on good authority that they both are probably going to be with us next week. So you may get your chance.
I can't wait. Can't wait. I am happy that. Great. I just said I'm happy they're here. Neither one of them are any means. None of you are gentlemen. Technically, I'm the only gentleman on this.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure I'm not a gentleman.
Yeah, and I think there'd be some ladies out there that would disagree with you, Dylan.
Yeah.
So, well, what I'm going to do right now is I am going to start to wind this whole thing down. And as I said, starting next week, first thing I want to say, starting next week, we are moving the broadcast. We will be on Thursdays at 8:00. Still on our Facebook Live, but we are moving the broadcast to Thursdays at 8. Okay.
But Thursdays at 8.
Thursdays at 8. I mean,
I just gotta let Agnes. I just gotta let Agnes and Gertie's strawberry store know. That's all.
Okay.
Thank you.
And as I said, I have it on good authority that we will be joined with by our two newest council members next week. Meetings are going to get a little bit smaller. You might not see everyone you're seeing here tonight next week. Dylan. We love you, brother. We love you.
But if Dylan's not here, where are we going to know where to get our strawberries at?
This is true, Stace. This is true. I mean, maybe he can send us a link or something.
I will. I absolutely will.
All right. And, if anybody is interested in researching a little more about what we were talking about, we are going to have that link for the state of PA and the rules and regulations, if you will, about how professional sports are going to be run. That will be up on our website, futhrowdown.com. You can also look at our current roster and all of our current fight council members there. They will be all that's up there. We have a great website team. We're going to continue to bring you the best we can in content under the current situation. And as I said, we're also working more and more towards getting some actual matches going on to bring to you people. This is what we want to do. So once again, if you want to look up anything that is Fight Underground, you can go to our website, futhrowdown.com. And you'll see the links for the state regulations, as well as links to look at our council members and our management team, our current roster of people that we have possibly going underground. So I want to thank all of our council members for being here again this week. And all I can say is, as I say every week, keep an eye out on Fight Underground, because we are going to be in your living room. We are going to be in your face shortly. And as we say, fists up, throw down.
Boomer, good to see you, brother.